form what our legacy will be. What do you want yours to be? What's it going to be when you're gone? When I'm gone? Okay, we often coach the way we've been coached. We parent the way we've been parented. We play the way we've seen other people play. We captain our teams the way we've seen other people captain. And in this society, we are all about winning. I love to win. How many people in this room like to win? Okay. How many people in this room love to lose? Okay, good enough. I'm on the right spot. Yeah. Nobody loves to lose. We all like to win. But there are ways of getting there, and there are ways of dealing with it once we do get there. And so, you can have a number of different successful models of getting you to winning. So, one model in another sport for another Tennis and Life Camps t-shirt would be to somebody name who this next person is. Raise your hand. Fred.
Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight. There you go. Can you catch that? Okay. Bobby Knight. So Bobby Knight, fourth winningest coach in NCAA history. Do you all see what he's got? He's got a chair in his hand there. Bobby Knight, fourth winningest coach in NCAA history. He is also an Olympic chair throwing champion. And he was a martial arts expert, and he would practice on his players with certain chokeholds. He won more games than all but 3 other coaches in NCAA history. You can win doing that. You can. There's another model. We were just, okay, so wait a minute, before we do this. For another t-shirt. Can you tell we're trying to get rid of last year's stock of t-shirts? Who can name the man? Oh, yeah, it's got to be a raising of the hand. Okay, you are absolutely correct. And you were a good student by raising your hand. So, Marianne, you're going to have to throw that back there. All right, I'm sorry. I know you knew the answer, Marianne, but that's the way it goes. Steve Wilkinson, can anybody tell me what he's got on the racket there? A smiley face. Do you know for 37 years, Steve Wilkinson has been planting smiley faces on people's rackets? Every camper that comes through. Now, Steve is the winningest coach in NCAA history. He's in 2 different halls of fame. So when Steve comes by with a smiley face, you don't say no to Steve. You get the smiley face. And we say at Tennis and Life Camps, this symbolizes the fact that you can choose to be positive under every circumstance on the court. You can't control other people, but you can choose to be positive. And I'll tell you what, when I play USTA leagues and I'm screwing up, I look at that stupid looking smiley face and it puts everything in perspective. Tennis, any sport, life, there are many ways of winning. How do you want to go about it? So, the thing about Steve, 37 years ago when we started this camp, and he called it Tennis and Life Camps, he was ridiculed. People would go, what's this and life stuff? Just teach me the tennis. Steve is the winningest coach in NCAA history. He said, you want to learn tennis? You're going to get the life stuff too. You don't have a choice if you're going to come to my camp. Which is why I have gone back for 32 years. Because I still need to hear the message that he talks about of attitude, effort, and sportsmanship. Because this is what we all get in the end. So what is it? Isn't this a happy talk for you people? I'm trying to go, who the hell brought this guy in here? So, okay, that would be Lee Peterson. You can get him on the way out here. Here's the thing. When we're on the court, when we're coaching, when we're working with kids, when we are a team captain, you have a choice. You have a choice on how you're going to work with others and yourself. Now, I want you to tell me some subtle differences in this next slide. Can anybody see? There we go. There are a couple of subtle differences. Does anybody want to raise their hand and see?
One person smiling.
One person is smiling. There we go. There we go. There we go. Here we go. There you go, Ann.
Yeah, it's good.
What else? What else?
One's got a sad face.
Oh yes, somebody. This one. It's got the frowny face on it. There we go. Yeah, and there. Isn't this a lot like here, and then your doubles partner right there? So you got the sad face on there. There you go. You're right there. You have a choice every single time you go on the court of how you're going to treat other people. We only have so many opportunities in our life. And the older we get, the fewer the opportunities. So we can choose one or the other. But the question is change possible? I mean, I've heard so many people say, I'm too old to change. I'll tell you about a camper that came through who was a high school coach. He played college tennis. He brought his kids to family camp. And he sat in the back row listening to this stuff for 3 summers. And this is what he looked like for 3 summers. And at the end of the 4th summer, he was bringing his kids to family camp. High school coach, he didn't believe this stuff, the attitude, effort, sportsmanship stuff. In the 4th summer, I brought up a question. I don't know how it came up, but he raised his hand. I thought, oh, geez, please don't say anything. He said, I've been coming here for 4 years now. And for 3 of those years, I just thought it was hogwash. I grew up with a college coach that taught me that if my opponent ends up hooking me, or even I think they might have cheated me, that the very next point, and my college coach would sit me if I didn't do this, the very next point, when that ball bounced in the middle of the court, I was to grab it and say, out. He said, because the only way you're going to get the message through to some people is through retaliation. Now he's sitting there saying, I think I was wrong. I don't want to raise my kids that way. I don't want my team members to be that way. And so I've begun to say, you never question an opponent's line call. I've begun to say, treat your opponent the way you want to be treated, not the way you're being treated necessarily. Because the only person's dignity that you have control over is your own. Is change possible? Sometimes I wonder, and then I meet someone like Kevin. We can do it this way. You've all seen coaches. How many people have ever been yelled at in a way that made you feel ashamed? Nobody else? I'm the only one, guys. Wow, okay, let me tell you about my family then. Oh wait, we don't have that much time. Being yelled at like that is a way to motivate. You can motivate by fear. But I'll tell you what, every single moment of my athletic life that has been filled with coaches like this, with colleagues like this, is what has gotten me into the sport in the first place. So you have a choice. So what can we do? Let's go back to what we stress at tennis and life camps. And I believe Steve has talked about this every time he's gone somewhere, is focus on what you can do as a player, what you can do as a coach.